Hey guys, welcome back to CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Ronald Araujo's words regarding Bayern Munich's interest in him. And then we're going to be talking about Sergi Roberto. Could we possibly be seeing a renewal for the Catalan player? And then lastly, guys, I'm going to giving you a small preview regarding the Barcelona game tomorrow against Osasuna in the Supercopa de España. But guys, before we get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Make sure to go check me out over there. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But let's get straight into it and let's talk about Ronald Araujo's words regarding Bayern Munich. This is reported by Cadena Lasser. Breaking FC Barcelona have been informed that Bayern Munich are ready to pay 100 million euros to sign Ronald Araujo right now. And Ronald Araujo, he did give an interview, like a pre-match, a pre-match conference in regards to Barcelona's game tomorrow against Osasuna, and these were his words when asked about Bayern Munich's links. Araujo on Bayern links. Every transfer window, we have stories about me. They also said about Man United last summer. My focus is on Barcelona. I'm doing my best for Barca 100%. It's a privilege to wear the captain's armband. I feel the responsibility. Now, guys, we do know that Araujo he feels the Barcelona blood and he feels the fan base. He's just another one of us out there out on the pitch. He's a Barcelona fan through thick and thin, and I don't see how Araujo leaves the club unless he's forced out, unless Barcelona tell him like, "Hey, we need you to leave in order to bring in revenue." Because Araujo, this is his dream club. This is where he wants to be, and if everything goes well, this is the place in which Araujo will be retiring, and hopefully after a successful career. And so I don't see Araujo leaving, but this is the question I do want to ask you guys. How much money would it take for you to part ways with Ronald Araujo? Now, I think 100 million, I think that is way too little for a player of his quality. You have players like Mason Mount, Havertz, you have Anthony, you have tons and tons of players going for big, big money, and they are nowhere near Ronald Araujo's quality. Ronald Araujo is one of the best center backs in the world, if not the best. And so I do not want Barcelona selling Ronald Araujo unless a massive, massive offer arrives. And you're talking about anywhere between 120 million or above 150, 160. That would be the only way and the only transfer fee I would see that would actually tempt me in order to say, hey, uh, we'll part ways with Ronald Araujo. But guys, how much money would it take for you to part ways with Ronald Araujo? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. But guys, now talking about Sergi Roberto, a player who has not renewed his contract as of yet. Sergi Roberto, and this reported by Martinez Ferran and GB Sands. Roberto. So far, Barcelona have not made any moves to renew Sergio Roberto's contract. The club will study Xavi's advice of wanting to have him in the squad, although their initial plan was for his departure. The player is not in a hurry to extend his contract. He is focused on the current season, and when the end of the season approaches, he will analyze the situation after talking to Xavi. He has already received interest from many clubs, but does not want to hear about offers right now. Now, guys, Sergio Roberto has been at the club for a very, very long time. Of course, this is his childhood club. He's been raised through La Masia. He was there in the 2011 Champions League victory, in the 2015, and he's been with Barcelona for a very, very long time. And so I ask you guys, would you guys want to see Sergio Roberto renewed at the club? Apologies for that. I have my Zumba running around and making noise. But would you guys want to see Sergio Roberto renewed at the club? Uh, Personally, for me, I think Sergio Roberto he's a squad player. He is a utilitarian where you can use him in various different positions, and he's not on very high wages. He's on manageable wages, and so having him in the squad wouldn't be a detriment to Barcelona whatsoever. However, we do know that Sergio Roberto he is past his best. His transfer market value it peaked in 2018. It was actually I just checked it. It was 60 million euros. Imagine selling Sergio Roberto for 60 million. And how did Barcelona not do that? But Sergio Roberto has been a good servant for the club, and selling him, we probably wouldn't be getting any transfer fee for him. We, however, we would be generating FFP margin, which is desperately needed. And so I ask you guys, would you guys sell Sergio Roberto? Would you guys renew him? Or would you guys hold out until the end of the season to see uh, how Sergio Roberto does? And just to keep in mind, Sergio Roberto, he has been key in the past couple of matches, scoring some key goals, getting some key assists. So I posed that question to you guys. And lastly, guys, I'm going to be talking about Ronald Araujo, talking about the preview on the Supercopa. And these were some quotes. We have a great team and we want to win this Super Cup. The team is motivated and they're looking at the Super Cup with enthusiasm. Maybe we lack a little force in both areas to close out games. And he's talking about the defensive area and the offensive area of Barcelona. And this was a question in regards to saying, like, hey, what do you think is the problem going on in Barcelona? Why aren't we playing the way that we want to? Why are we not getting the results that we want to? And Rajo is pointing to a lack of focus, well, a little forced. And I don't think that this was actually like the correct pronunciation, or like fuerza or focus. But continuing on, we hope the Supercopa. Yeah, actually, let me put that right there. We hope the Supercopa marks a turning point. It's a title and is very important for the team and the club. Now, this is true, and I do agree with Araujo. This, if Barcelona win the Supercopa, this could be a very, very important point in the season, which can basically transform Barcelona. If we win this title, especially knowing who the final is, then I think that Barcelona can use this to bounce back and actually make a run at the La Liga title and make a deep run in the Champions League. But however, and this turning point could be a double-edged sword. If Barcelona they get knocked out against Osasuna tomorrow, then I definitely could see the reverse happening, where we lose the Copa del Rey. We're very far from the Liga title race, and then we make any possible run into the Champions League like almost impossible. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the players and the manager take this, but obviously have faith on the team. And guys, talking about the lineup for tomorrow's game against Osasuna, it's mostly predictable, but it's most likely going to be Iñaki Pena in goal. Ter Stegen, he is still recovery. And then tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be talking about Ter Stegen and Gavi as well, because there are injury updates regarding both of them. But Balde, Christensen, Araujo, and Kuhn in the defense. The return of back, that's most likely that we're going to see. Balde, he didn't play again in the Copa del Rey due to an illness, but he should be fine for tomorrow's game. Gundogan, Frankie de Jong, and Sergio Roberto in the midfield. However, instead of Sergio Roberto, I would like to opt for Fermin Lopez. I thought Fermin Lopez, he had a fantastic game against Babastro in the Copa del Rey, and he was, I believe, the best player on the pitch. He created so many dangerous opportunities. He did get a goal, and so I would much rather see Fermin Lopez start instead of Sergio Roberto. But I do understand Sergio Roberto starting, as he's one of players who is contributing the most to our attacking output. And Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Rafinha starting up top. Obviously, it's a pretty predictable team. And just some facts for you guys to know: Barcelona haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 7 matches, but we haven't lost to Osasuna in the last 7 meetings either. And so, and if you guys didn't know already, Real Madrid, they beat Atletico Madrid 5-3, and so the finalist of the Supercopa España is going to be Real Madrid. Who's going to be the other finalists to join them? And guys, something interesting to keep out and eye on is Joao Felix. Everything indicates that Pedri will have a few minutes versus Osasuna, and Joao Felix will be benched because of his attitude in the last match. Now, that's precisely why Joao Felix he isn't in the starting lineup. It seems him and Xavi have fallen out of favor, and Xavi has already made up his mind and basically saying, "Hey, Joao Felix, I'm not signing you. I don't trust you. Your attitude hasn't been good enough." And I completely agree with Xavi. Joao Felix has not earned his spot in the starting 11, and so you would obviously give that to Ferran Torres instead, who has earned his spot. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Joao Felix can basically bounce back and produce something. And talking about like the first part of the quote, I honestly wouldn't risk Pedri for the match against Osasuna. I would much rather see Pedri play against Real Madrid in this Sunday, if we do make the Super Cup final. But it's just a precaution I would rather take because Pedri, he is a very injury prone player. But guys, let me know your match predictions. How do you guys think that game is going to go? But guys, thank you guys all for watching. That was it for the Barcelona news roundup of the day. Let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that we have talked and discussed. How much money would it take for you to part ways with Araujo? Would you guys accept the 100 million bid from Bayern Munich, or would you guys want to see a much higher fee? And lastly, guys, what do you guys make of Sergi Roberto's possible renewal, and Barcelona's game tomorrow against Osasuna? But as always, guys, remember, like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.